Kevin Davis. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everyone checked in. We have Trey Sheldon. Trey is from the city zoning department. Trey. We have Brookalini. Mr. Smith, if you could unmute and let me know how it connects to the project, whether you're a neighboring property owner. Smith, if you're with us, if you could unmute. Is Kevin Davis with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Kevin, could you tell me, is that your name and who you're representing here today?
Yeah, that's my name. And I was just here to watch. I work for Lexington Hotel Management. That's the company that manages the Hampton Inn in Rookwood on Madison Way. Madison Road.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Mr. Davis. Give Mr. Smith one more opportunity to let me know if he's going to participate today. Does anyone know Taylor Smith? Okay. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. I need to read through our hearing script. This will basically just cover the procedure for the jump into it. So this is the April 10th, 2024 session of the zoning hearing exam docket. Straight so the city will preside for this hearing. The case before us today is case number ZH20240024. Purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any potential opposing parties to testify and to offer and review evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow rules on the zoning code and subject to rules of the zoning examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant and potential opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows: the applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. If there's anyone here from the public that would like to speak, they will have an opportunity to speak after the applicant has presented its case. We'll hear from the zoning department. Mr. Sheldon, who has prepared staff report on this particular application. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, the applicant will have an opportunity to rebut that testimony and offer an opposition. Finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make closing statements. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem to be relevant outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or make any comments. In the event of any technical difficulties with the Zoom technology, I'll do my best to troubleshoot those issues on the fly. But to the extent it prevents us from meaningfully going forward with this hearing, I may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. Okay. Last thing to do is just swear in all of our witnesses. So, Mr. Smith, are you with us?
I am, yes.
Okay, great. And are you a neighboring property owner? How are you connected to the project, if at all?
I'm with the ownership and management group of the hotel.
Got it. So you're also just going to be observing here today?
Correct.
Great. Okay. All right. So Brooke and Trey, if I can get you guys sworn in, you can unmute. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, great. All right. I'm going to throw Mr. Smith and Mr. Davis on mute. And Brooke, if you are ready to proceed, the floor is yours.
So the Hampton Inn is requesting an additional ground sign. They're only allowed to have one based on code. This is a strangely shaped parcel. When the hotel bought the parcel, there's a restaurant that sits right in the middle of their frontage parcel. And so they want signage on both sides of that hotel or both sides of that parcel so people can see on each side. And as Trey said, it's great for we're basically calling it a directional since you can't see around the hotel. I'm trying to think of.
Say more about that. I can't see around the hotel
or around the restaurant. I'm sorry, on either side of the restaurant, since it sits right in the middle. There's also a giant pine tree that's off of another parcel to the other side, and so you can't see the sign coming from the other direction. You wouldn't be able to see the identification of the hotel because of the restaurant. So the sign sits a little bit out from the restaurant. I'm sorry, I can't share my screen because I'm having technical difficulties this morning.
Oh, sure. So the proposed signage is somewhere in this area, correct?
Yes, it's going to be it'll be on the left side.
Okay, meaning this side. Like over here.
I'm gonna zoom in on what you're, yes, exactly. So it's actually on the other side of the driveway. Yes,
And is there any existing signage, or to what extent is there other signage?
there's gonna be there's a ground sign on the other side, of the restaurant. Yes. Not on this picture, I'm not 100% sure exactly where it's at. But it's on that other side so that they have visibility coming from both directions.
Gotcha. Okay, so.
Yeah. You can kind of see if you look at this page, you can see where we have it sitting in the site triangle. And then there's this giant pine tree that's kind of blocking it from on another parcel. And then the restaurant will be in the middle of it all.
That's figures 6 and 7 in my staff report.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks, Trey.
Gotcha. So the idea is, this one is this southbound traffic essentially.
Yeah.
That northbound won't be able to see the sign on the other side of the restaurant.
Right. The restaurant is basically, when you look at the picture, the restaurant is like on the frontage. So it's not set back very far. So if you're coming from either direction, you see the restaurant before you see the entrance to the hotel on either side. It's very strange the way they have it set up because of that restaurant.
Yeah, so it originally looks to be a dwelling, like a home, and then it was a single story addition was put on all the way out to the lot line, to the frontage, David. So you basically have a brick, facade of the restaurant sticking out all the way to the sidewalk.
Right, this is just sign regulations, like size or.
Yeah, it's just a numerical variance, so it's just for the quantity of what's allowed.
The sign's completely compliant. Sorry, the sign's completely compliant with OG. That's another interesting thing about this site. It's two different zoning districts. So the hotel and the sign that's further to the north are both located in a commercial zoning district, and this part of the parking lot and the area where the request for the variance for this sign and the location of it are in an office zoning district, such that they have made the sign so that it has only external illumination and is of the size that would be appropriate for it's actually below the size requirement for the office district. So this is a secondary sign. It's also 50% as required by code, 50% smaller than the other ground sign if they had the 400 feet of frontage, but if they had the full frontage, but they don't, in part just due to as Brooke said, this strange kind of unusual lot configuration here because of this in-holding with both a restaurant and then another building next door. I believe it's where the restaurant owners live. I had a coordinated site review for this whole project going back years ago, and I know at the time they were seeking to I think the hotel, I think it's the Port Authority, but anyhow, there was an attempt to buy that in holding and buy those lots, and the folks just didn't want to sell. And and now it's kind of understandable because they're going to sell their Thai food to the people in the hotel, so they're going to make money from it. So I guess the price tag just wasn't, the price offer wasn't high enough, and they decided to hold out and keep their business going. So it creates just a strange wayfinding issue here, especially as you point out, both of you did. If you're coming northbound, it's totally depicted in figure 7. If you're coming from like the south on I-71 and you get off at Dana, or if you're coming anywhere from the city, O'Brienville or any place over that way, Walnut Hills or whatever, and you're trying to come this way on Madison, you're otherwise not going to see the other side. So it made sense to me that this would be it's a wayfinding issue, legitimately. Also, the hotel did request to have a large wall sign up on the side of that hotel. That's not, but after discussions with them and with their sign rep and with Atlantic, it just didn't make sense. It wouldn't have it wouldn't have been seen on the highway at all, and it would have been just a big red reflection in the backyards of the adjacent property owners. So I told them I couldn't support that, and they withdrew that. So just letting you know that they did want more signage, but it just seemed completely unrealistic on my end. But they were very much worked with me on getting this sign to where it would otherwise be compliant if they had enough frontage here.
Okay, thanks, Drew. Brooke, anything you want to add? After Drew's
No,
comment?
he covered it. Thanks for stepping in, Trey. He covered basically all of it. It's just that weird parcel. And so to have that extra signage on the other side would just benefit the hotel immensely. Because they did give up. Oh, go ahead.
What's that?
Sorry.
No, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say they did give up that hotel, that one wall sign.
Gotcha. Okay. And it is external illumination.
Yeah, externally illuminated. There's a light bar. There's not a good picture in the drawings, but there'll be a light bar. I think it's on the bottom of it that shines up.
And how will it be oriented? Will it be perpendicular to the street? I take it.
Yes, I believe so. I don't have,
It is, David.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
So that you can see it coming
yeah,
coming
Sure.
right
from both
up.
tracks.
Okay, and it's about 5 feet tall and 4 feet wide.
Yeah, it's 10.21 square feet in total. So it's not a very big sign at all.
All right.
It's definitely a directional kind of idea.
Sure. Okay. All right, I don't think I have any more questions. Anything else you want to say, Brooke, in closing remarks?
No, just thank you, Trey, for stepping in and helping me out there. But yeah, it's mainly, again, just the directional for people coming and going from the hotel, since you won't see it from the road.
All right, we'll leave it at that then. I reviewed the application materials here. This area, this new development. I think based on that, on the staff report, and on the testimony that I've heard here today, that I do agree with each of you that this is going to provide more effective wayfinding. That's not that intersection, particularly as you get towards Edwards, is really not conducive to a lot of easy turn traffic. So people being able to identify this before they can pass that restaurant.
Yeah.
Certainly be helpful and beneficial to the public. So again, I'm going to approve the application. I need to formalize that approval and make a decision. As you know, I've got to as soon as possible. You know the whole process. So
yeah.
If you have any questions, just let me know.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Otherwise, good luck with the project, and we are adjourned.
Great.
Thanks,
Have a good
everybody.
day.
You too. Bye.